Hey there, freedom fighters. I'm back with another one. Today we're going to discuss Stewart Rhodes, the founder and leader of the Oath Keepers militia, being sentenced to 18 years in prison for the January 6th event at the Capitol. I mean, I've been critical of the Oath Keepers and Stewart Rhodes at times. I mean, honestly, I thought they were a LARPing organization. And one of my main problems with them is that they were always back in the blue. I remember watching one of these protests they were doing security on, where Antifa and BLM were burning down the city and they're rioting and going crazy. And they were interviewing one of these Oath Keepers. And he said, "Oh, we're just here to provide security and we stand by the men and women in blue and we're here to aid our police officers." And I'm like, man, don't you realize they don't want your help? And that they've been told to stand down and allow it all to happen? And the moment that you decide on your own it's time to clean it up and you take action is when you're going to get arrested for it. And they don't realize that. And that's why I always made fun of them, because I'm like, you're not going to uphold your oath. You're not going to do what needs to be done, what's necessary. But hey, to their credit, they showed up to this fight. They showed up to this event. And he upheld the oath to not let his country fall and sit by the wayside and let everything burn to the ground. But this is the price you pay when you uphold your oath. Let it be known. And that's what they're doing. They're letting it be known. They're setting the example. If you step in the way of the tyranny, if you step in the way and try to take your country back, we're going to send you to prison. Or worse, we'll kill you. Rest in peace to Ashley Babbitt. We're coming up on Memorial Day. Let's memorialize the people out here losing their life to this tyranny. Not fighting out in global homo wars. But I was reading this article this morning talking about how he was an Obama judge. The news source was from a website we cannot name. It's AJ's website. That'll trip the algorithm if we mention that. But here are some quotes from the judge. Stewart Rhodes was calling himself a political prisoner, and he said, "You're not a political prisoner, but you, sir, are a present and ongoing threat and peril to this country and to the fabric of democracy." Then he said, "Seditious conspiracy is one of the most serious charges an American could commit." Well, I agree, but he was trying to stop the seditious conspiracy. And again, I keep telling people need to wake the fuck up and realize that you're in the Civil War and they view you as the enemy. Seditious conspiracy is a serious crime. The ones out here committing the sedition, the treason, are Joe Biden, his whole administration, the cabinet, Mayorkas with the border open, running a criminal sex trafficking ring and a drug trafficking operation. That's where the sedition is. Flying them out and busing them to the heartland, to red America, to poison your family and your children. That's the sedition. That's the treason. But once again, they're willing to use the state against you if you try to bring it to a halt. I've long said on the Texas border, we need the militias out there. And hey, it's a red state, but Abbott won't have that either. They all back the blue, and soon as you choose to do something, they'll arrest you for it. There was a case of that a couple years ago of a militia out on the border, and they grabbed up some illegals and zip tied them and called up the border patrol and said, "Hey, we got some for you." The border patrol let the illegals free, arrest the militia for kidnapping, and then one of the militia members was a felon, so they also charged him with a firearm possession. There's your border patrol. There's your police. There's your country for you. They're not on your side. They don't give a fuck about you. They also mentioned that he was in a chat room talking with other Oathkeeper members and used the terms, "give me liberty" or "give me death." Or the tree of liberty needs to be refreshed by the blood of tyrants and patriots. And they're like, "Oh, that's intent to do something." And now they're literally using the words of your founding fathers against you. And because you utter these words, you're basically found guilty of thought crimes. And oh, that sounds dangerous, so it's literally Minority Report. We have to go get them before they do something. They said, "Don't tread on me." They said, "Come and take it." It's ridiculous, man. And they're trying to break your will. That's what it is. It's a breaking of a wild animal. It's like having a perfectly fine dog that's not violent or has no problems whatsoever. You back it into a corner and you hit it, you poke it, and it growls and it shows its teeth. It's warning you. And you poke it some more, and then he finally bites. And you're like, "Look, I told you, he's dangerous. That dog's rabid. We gotta put him down." That's what they're doing to you. They slap you around. They tread on you. You tell them don't tread, but they keep doing it, and they tread harder each and every time. We're at a full-on trample at this point. And then you bite. And then they're like, "Oh, look what he did. We told you he was dangerous." You should be proud of that bite. That's what you're supposed to do. That bite is natural. Yeah, I mean, I've long said revolutionary acts won't be legal. And I mean, I'm not inciting, encouraging, or supporting any illegal, unlawful actions. What I'm giving you is my opinions and fact. I mean, there's never been, correct me if I'm wrong, there's never been a revolution or a war where the opposing side agrees with the side attacking them and says, "Oh yeah, oh I totally understand why they're attacking us and why we're at war, because they have a justified grievance against us and we fully support their actions." No, they always designate the opposite side as the enemy or call them the T word, or like Biden always says, in that blood red speech he gave with the Marines beside him, calling you DTs. They just came out the other day with an extremist pyramid that starts at the bottom of, you watch Fox News and you're part of the Republican Party. And that's going to be another video, but yeah, that just came out. There's this meme I remember seeing. It's like war is when the government tells you who to fight. Revolution is when you find out the enemy for yourself. I mean, when the founding fathers were at Lexington and Concord, do you think that was legal? Do you think the redcoats said, "Oh yeah, the king totally understands why you're resisting gun confiscation. We don't worry, guys, we totally understand it"? No, it comes to a head and it comes to blows. That's what war is. And I was watching a zombie farmer video the other day. I don't know if you guys watched him. I haven't watched him in a while, and I think he's been on a break. I haven't seen him in a while. But again, my main problem with him is he was always a back the blue, supporter, and I got banned from his channel like a year or two ago. I don't know, my comments never show up on his channel. I'm pretty sure he blocked me. Because we were having arguments all the time about how he's back in the blue. And yeah, he backed him so hard, he joined him. He became a cop. But his videos still pop up on my feed every once in a while, and it just came up. And he was saying, there's going to become a time where we have to do, men are going to have to do manly things. And running to the hills isn't enough anymore. That ain't going to cut it.
But I hope you hear me. There's going to come a day to where you will have to do manly things. Running and hiding in the hills ain't enough, folks. It's not enough.
And I agree. But those manly things that you're talking about, they're not going to be legal. And you guys, you cops, are going to be the ones arresting the Patriots for doing those manly things, for taking care of business. How do you not understand that? How do you not see that? And yeah, running for the hills isn't going to be enough anymore. And that's going to be another video about balkanization and how that's not going to work. I'm not saying that we won't balkanize, because we are, but that is not going to work. You cannot run away from this fight. I mean, it's happening in small town America. It's happened all over the place. The you-know-whats are coming into your school and reading your kids' books during story time. And they're sitting your kid on their lap and giving them a ride on the old flagpole. And when you decide it's time to take manly action and do those manly things and put a halt to it and put a stop, it's not going to be lawful. And they will be coming for you for doing it. That's pretty much it on this, man. I thought about like 4 or 5 other videos I can make just from this topic. I'm just going off on a rant here, but you know how I always say, we are on our own. No one's coming to save us. Only God can save you. So get right with God. Freedom Fighters out.